Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video, my sports Gematria. In this video, we're going to talk about a four-teamer I did the other day. I did $6 to win $33. Figured this would be a good lesson 33 video on a parlay where I win $33. Plus 550 odds at the Charlotte Hornets minus 135, Milwaukee Bucks minus 150 or minus 450. The Mavericks a minus 220, and the Lakers at a plus 110. Put them in a 14 parlay, 6 to win 33. And I'm going to show you why I made those picks. If you see my other videos, you know my setup. If not, this is how I set up my games for Sports Gematria. On my left side, I call my daily numbers. They have the Gregorian date numerology, day of the year, number left. And then right here I have the Hebrew, both sides, the civil and the religious side. The day of the year and the number left. Right here is my fictitious calendar I made up called the Gregorian Religious. You don't have to pay attention to this if you don't want to. But we're going to look at the Warriors and Hornets. So the reason why I had the Hornets, now these four teams were my top favorite teams for the day. When I did this parlay. I do make free picks over on Patreon. If you've seen my last video, I make free picks. I had 6 NBA picks and 6 college basketball picks. But out of all 12 of those games, these four games were my favorite. I don't indicate that on the free picks because they're free picks, but let's get into it. Warriors and the Hornets. So up top here, the way it's structured is the away team. And the middle is the head-to-head. And the bottom is the home team. So the first thing I really liked was I liked that it was the 23rd game for the Warriors on the season, and it was the 23rd game for the Hornets on the season. 23 in mathematics is the ninth prime number. Here, let's go over to 23. 23 is the ninth prime number. So I felt it would be appropriate for in the 23rd game for the Warriors for the season and the 23rd game for the Hornets for the season. They would get their ninth win, the Hornets. 23, the ninth prime. There is also date numerology of 19 on the Gregorian, and the Warriors picked up their 19th loss for the season. And the coach for the Warriors earned his 107th loss regular season as a coach on date numerology. Of 28. That's why I was thinking of 20 for some reason. Date numerology of 28, 107, the 28th prime number. So we have a mathematical pattern there, the 23, 23, and the 9, the 19 date numerology, and then the 107, the 28th prime, 28 date numerology as well as 19. So that's why I like the Hornets. Also, if you type in 30-30, this isn't the best method, but I just typed it in anyway, 30-30. It sums to 124, and this game was played on December 4th, 12/4, like 124. So Hornets get their 9th win and their 23rd, and the Warriors 23rd. They become 30-30 all-time head-to-head against the Warriors. Warriors get their 19th. The coach goes to 107, the 28th prime. So that's why I liked Hornets. Was a favorite. For the Bucks, same thing. Bucks get their 19th win on date numerology of 19. They get their 13th win in a row for the season. 19 sums to 41, the 13th prime number. It's the Bucks' 22nd game of the season. It's the Pistons' 22nd game of the season. The Bucks coach gets his 79th win as a coach for the Bucks, the 22nd prime number. It's his 104th game as a coach for the Bucks. It's also the Pistons coach's 104th game as a coach for the Pistons, and the word 14 sums to 104. And the Pistons got their 14th loss for the season. Plus, we have date numerology of 35 on the Gregorian and 35 on the Hebrew Religious. And the word 35 sums to 142. and the Bucks picked up their 142nd all-time head-to-head win against the Pistons. Date numerology of 55 on the Gregorian. Pistons coach gets his 55th loss as a coach for the Pistons. So this Bucks was a good read. Hornets was a good read. And then Celtics. I picked the Celtics. They won, but they weren't my top four. And the Mavericks. So I like the Mavericks. They were a good read to me because it was the Timberwolves' 10th away game. And the Timberwolves became 10-10 for the season. So in their 10th away game, they become 10-10 for the season. As I previously mentioned, 35 date numerology on the Gregorian, 35 date numerology on the Hebrew. Timberwolves coach gets his 35th loss as a coach regular season. The Mavericks, who won this game, they got their 69th head-to-head win all time, or excuse me, 69th head-to-head win regular season against the Timberwolves. Today on the Hebrew calendar, it was the 6th day of the 9th month, kind of like 69. They get their 69th. And the Mavericks become 15-6 for the season, like 156. Date numerology of 28 on the Gregorian, 28 sums to 156. Also, though, some mathematics, it was the 120th regular season game head-to-head between these two teams, and 120 is the 15th triangular number, and Mavericks got their 15th win of the season. So that was a good read. And the last one, the Lakers. The Lakers became 19-3. They got their 19th win of the season on date numerology of 19. They became 19-3, like 193. The Jazz's coach got his 193rd loss regular season as a coach. So Lakers become 19-3 for the season, and the Jazz coach gets his 193rd. I thought that was an interesting connection. Also, it's the 12th away game for the Lakers, as well as the 10th home game for the Jazz, and that's literally their season record now, 12-10. Plus, the Jazz coach stays on 239 wins as a coach, and mathematics tells us that 239 is the 52nd prime number, and 52 sums to 124. This game being played on December the 4th, 12/4. So those were the top four that I liked. Put them in a parlay. 6 for 33. Plus 550 odds. Hornets, Bucks, Mavericks, Lakers.